Top of the turn. Here they come. They're off with Zach Society firing out for the lead. Let's Go Lou moving right with him. On the far outside, KAB Command is 3 deep. Into the first turn, they race for position. Let's Go Lou leads the way. Here comes KAB Command. Zach Society hemmed in between horses. Coming away third along the rail, Mandy Mania. These 4 are length and a half ahead of Go Brian Go, the favorite, and Tony Morgan. Then a gap of 2 to Anctionasti. Your trailer is Holly Hill Action. They race for the quarter, and it's KAB Command working his way to the top and by the quarter in 29-1. KAB Command leads the way by 2 1/4. Zach Society getting the trip a length back to Let's Go Lou, racing in third. On the inside, it's Mandy Mania. And now Go Brian Go, set to go after the leader. He's on the move first over. Anctionasti picks up that cover. Holly Hill Action. At the end, they race for the half, and the second tier takes form. Your leader is still KAB Command, the long shot at 22-1. It's KAB Command by the half, a minute and 3/5. KAB Command leads the way. Zach Society getting the pocket trip. On the outside, Go Brian Go, grinding out a tough first over trip. He'll have to do more. Let's Go Lewis hemmed in along the inside. On the outside, Anctionasti geared up by McGee, set to move up. On the inside, Mandy Mania. Holly Hill Action still trails. Approaching the final quarter. KAB Command is engaged by Go Brian Go. These 2 are hub to hub by 3/4. 1:31 straight. KAB Command leads the way. Go Brian Go is on the outside second. Zach Society racing in third. Here comes Anctionasti. 1/8 of a mile to go. KAB Command still on top, looking to go all the way. It's KAB Command on top by 3, now by 4. Zach Society picks up the chase in deep stretch. It's all KAB Command in an upset. Zach Society second, Anctionasti up for third in 2 minutes 3/5.
Look at the changes on Balmoro's card where the track is fast. No changes in races 1, 2, or 3. In the
top of the stretch, picking up speed. Here they come. They're off. Mr. Checker on the far outside, winging out for the lead on the inside. Sentinel is also there. Mr. Checker now quickly to an uncontested 2-length advantage over Sentinel. Johnny Pestigo will settle in third, a length back to Razzie Red. Racing in fourth, a length and a half back to Morning Racer and Joe Mars Jr. Then a gap of 2 to Dancing Bankroll, a length and a half back to Go Ahead Try It. Your trailer as they race for the quarter is Illini Jet. They're strung out as they race for the quarter. Mr. Checker in command of the pace leads the way by 2 off that quarter, 29-4. Mr. Checker leads around the far turn for the first time by 2.5 over Sentinel. Then it's a gap of 3 to Johnny Pestigo racing third. Razzie Red now off the cones for Morgan. He bids first over. Dancing Bankroll will follow up closely. Morning Racer saves ground along the rail. On the move from far back, third over. Go Ahead Try It, Illini Jet still at the end. It's Ben, Mr. Checker in total command. Still leads the way by 2. Off the half, 59-2. Mr. Checker leads into the paddock turn. A length and a quarter on the outside. Here comes Razzie Red homing in for Morgan. Sentinel right there in the pocket. On the inside, Johnny Pestigo races fourth. Dancing Bankroll will have to pick it up again. Go Ahead Try It racing behind him. Morning Racer is hemmed in. Illini Jet still trails a little bit more. Then a quarter of a mile to go. It's Mr. Checker in command, feeling pressure from Razzie Red and Morgan. 3/4, 1:29-2, 32nd, third quarter. Mr. Checker with 3/16 to go. 3 parts of a length. Razzie Red right alongside. These 2 will battle it out. Sentinel gains along the rail, 1/8 to go. Top of the stretch, it's Mr. Checker on top. Here comes Razzie Red with another move. He won't go away. Mr. Checker trying to get home. Here's Razzie Red on the outside. A 16th out. Razzie Red and Mr. Checker. Razzie Red coming on to get it. Mr. Checker and Sentinel, and a tight photo for second. 2:01 and 3. 32-20. on that exacta. Now it's out to Balmoral for their second race. Top of the turn. They're picking up speed. Here they come. They're off. Lil's Bunny going after the lead along with Inherit the Gold. Moving up 3 wide, LK Line, Lil's Bunny, and Inherit the Gold. Inherit the Gold now takes the lead. Lil's Bunny racing right alongside. Summermain came along the inside third, now takes over second, ahead of Lil's Bunny, who will drop in third, a length ahead of LK Line. On the outside and moving up, looking for a hole, Gabriel Hill. A length back to After All, 2 back to JD's Fella. Your trailer is Escort Best. Off the quarter, a quick 28-2. It's Inherit the Gold, the favorite, showing on top a tight length over Summermain. A length and a quarter back to Lil's Bunny, pacing third. Another length back to LK Line. Now off the cones for Bussy. Gabriel Hill will take an inside route. After All picks up cover on the outside, moving up in sixth. Escort Best drives from last. JD's Fella is pinned in along the inside as they race for the half. And by the stance for the first time, no change up top. It's Inherit the Gold, your leader by 2 1/4 over Summermain, getting the perfect trip. Half timed in 59-4. Little bit of a breather for Inherit the Gold. A little more than 3/8 to go. Inherit the Gold leads the way on the outside. LK Line continues to advance first over. Summermain is right there in the pocket for McGee. Lil's Bunny getting a ground-saving trip along the rail fourth. On the outside, After All is gapping his cover. Gabriel Hill looks for an out. Escort Best set to rally from far back. JD's Fella still at the end. Quarter of a mile to go, 3/4, 129-2. Still no pressure up top. Inherit the Gold now drawing out with every stride. A little more than 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Inherit the Gold and Andy Miller. Summermain the main threat. Here comes Escort Best. Lil's Bunny still looking for an out. They're in the stretch. Inherit the Gold now has built an insurmountable lead with less than a 16th to go. It's all Inherit the Gold. Summermain second, close for third. Escort Best maybe over Lil's Bunny in 1:58-4. Field of 6 Illinois breds moving around the turn as they position themselves for a start. Here they come. They're off. Dual Fiddle Skipper seeks the early lead. Broadway Jazz also left hard on the far outside. Moving up with a rush. Broadway Bastion. Broadway Bastion now circling the field. Up to challenge. Dual Fiddle Skipper for the lead. They curve off the turn, they race up the backstretch, and now Broadway Bastion forging his way on by at 33-1 for Andy Miller. Broadway Bastion leads the way a length and a half over Dual Fiddle Skipper. Mordred racing in third, 2 back to Greek Fire, the favorite, a length and a half back to Ken Holliday and Carolina Matthew. Your trailer's Broadway Jazz. That opening quarter, 27 seconds. Quick opening fraction for the long shot and leader, Broadway Bastion. They curve off the turn and pass by the stands. No change up top. Broadway Bastion cutting out some pretty good fractions here. Leads the way a length and a half over Dual Fiddle Skipper. On the inside, it's Mordred. Up on the outside, now facing the breeze. Carolina Matthew will bring up Broadway Jazz. Greek Fire has been pushed back to left, half-timed in 57-2. A little more than 3/8 to go. Broadway Bastion continues to lead. Now Morgan angles off the cones with Dual Fiddle Skipper and going after the leader. Mordred racing along the inside. On the outside, Carolina Matthew. Gaps cover. Greek Fire will be hard-pressed to reach from here. Broadway Jazz has to do more. Approaching 3/4. Now Dual Fiddle Skipper forging on by. 3/4, 126-1. Dual Fiddle Skipper opens up by 2. Now by 3 with 3/16 to go. It's Dual Fiddle Skipper, your leader. On the inside, Broadway Bastion. Trying to come back. Mordred looks for racing room. Greek Fire's not going to get there. Around the turn. They're in the stretch. Dual Fiddle Skipper shows the way. It's Dual Fiddle Skipper with a 16th to go. Your leader, he's tiring. Here comes Carolina Matthew. Dual Fiddle Skipper has it measured. A late rally by Greek Fire along the inside. On the outside, Carolina Matthew close for second and third. Top of the stretch, fields all in line. Here they come. They're off. Pirate Skip lags the start. Went on a break. And now Sulin Dan fires in between horses. Out for the early lead. On the inside, Javaro also left well. Broadway Legend. Ken Holiday, they go after the leader. Sulin Dan. Sulin Dan and Morgan on top of length. Here comes Broadway Legend. Javaro is right there in the pocket. Then a gap of 2 to Ironbrooks Gold off stride. Ironbrooks Gold is off stride. Lafayette Jones and Andy Miller take over fourth as they race for the quarter. It's still a battle up top, and now Broadway Legend works his way on by to a quick opening quarter, 27-3. Broadway Legend in command at tight length over Sulin Dan. A length back to Javaro, racing third. Then a gap of 3 to Lafayette Jones. Another 2 back to Dave McGee and Fox Valley Dakota. Then comes Slumlord Ironbrooks Gold far back. After an early miscue, Pirate Skip. A race for the half. It's the favorite on top, and now Sulin Dan veers off the cones. Morgan going after the lead. Hit the half, 58-2. Sulin Dan with an aggressive move leads the way now a length. Broadway Legend will yield. A length back to Javaro. Racing in third. Lafayette Jones now about 5 off the lead in fourth. Slumlord makes his bid on the outside fifth. On the inside, Fox Valley Dakota, Ironbrooks Gold, far back, Pirate Skip. A little more than a quarter of a mile to go. Sulin Dan leads a length over Broadway Legend. A length back to Javaro. Then it's a break of 4. Slumlord takes over fourth. 3/4, 128-2. Sulin Dan leads the way. Broadway Legend now comes off the cones for Holiday. Javaro racing in third. On the inside, it's Lafayette Jones. They're off the turn. It's Sulin Dan, the one to catch. Sulin Dan leads the way. Broadway Legend trying to come on. Here comes Javaro closing on the inside. Sulin Dan leads. Here comes Javaro. Sulin Dan. Morgan gets him home. Javaro second. Broadway Legend in 2 minutes, 1/5.
We're at Balmoral for race number 5, Quinella Trifecta, wagering
Top of the stretch. Here they come. They're off. Kim Can showing early speed in between horses. On the inside, Lake Hills Carl also left well. On the far outside, Classics Pretty Boy looks for position. Midway around the turn, Lake Hills Carl leads 3 parts of length on the outside. Kim Can looking for a hold. Nonstop John 2 lengths off in third. Then a gap of 3 to Lucky Chris racing in fourth. On the outside, Classics Pretty Boy. On the inside, Curbs now overtakes him. And your trailer by the quarter, nice and feisty. Opening quarter, a quick 27-2. Kim Can leads the way for Andy Miller at tight length over Lake Hills Carl, a length and a half back to Nonstop John and Tony Morgan. Then a gap of 2 to Lucky Chris. Curbs sent on his way first over by Joe Mars Jr. Then it's a break of 3 to Nice and Feisty and Classics Pretty Boy. A race for the half. Kim Can showing the way. Lake Hills Carl right there in the pocket. Curbs grinding out a tough first over trip. He's up to challenge now second. Half-timed in 57-2. Kim Can leads on the outside. Curbs now prompting the pace. Lake Hills Carl getting the perfect trip. On the outside, moving up second over. Here comes the long shot, Lucky Chris. Nonstop John looks for racing room along the inside. Then comes Classics Pretty Boy, rallying from far back. Nice and feisty. A little more than a quarter of a mile ago. Kim Can looking to go all the way. It's Kim Can now by 2. Curbs digs down for more. 3/4, 128 and 1. 3/16 to go. Kim Can shows the way. Lake Hills Carl on the inside. Nonstop John looks for racing room along the rail. Lucky Chris on the outside. 1/8 of a mile ago. Kim Can leads the way. They're in the stretch. It's Kim Can. Your leader by 2. Now by 3. Lucky Chris tries to home in. Here comes Nonstop John deep in the lane. It's Kim Can in front. Kim Can in front. Close for a second. Nonstop John maybe over Lucky Chris. The mile 159 and 3. Field of 8 pacers lining up, picking up speed. Here they come. They're off. Silver Wolf and Sunny Freedom both going for the lead. Those two joined by Oil Driller as he shoots on through the inside. It's Oil Driller, 3 parts of a length. Silver Wolf will tuck in behind. Sunny Freedom up on the rim in third, a length and a half back to Robert Wolf. Racing in fourth, then another length back to New Coverage, about 6 off the top, racing in fifth. 2.5 back, 2, Nice and Proud, and Andy Miller. Your 2 trailers as they race for the quarter, Ticked Off and Why Not Me. Off that station, 28 and 2. Sunny Freedom has made his way to the top, leads a tight length over Oil Driller. 2 lengths back to the veteran Silver Wolf, then a gap of 4 to Robert Wolf, another break. To the outside, here comes Nice and Proud as he faces the breeze and looking for cover. To the inside of him, New Coverage. Up on the outside, Randy Jacobs, and Ticked Off has about 8 to make up as they race for the half. Driving from last, Why Not Me? Off the half, 58 seconds. Sunny Freedom, feeling no pressure, leads the way by 2. Oil Driller has been getting the trip right in behind him. On the outside, Nice and Proud continues to advance for Miller. Following up that live cover, Randy Jacobs and Ticked Off. On the inside, Silver Wolf saves ground along with Robert Wolf. Then comes Why Not Me and New Coverage. A little bit more than a quarter of a mile ago, Sunny Freedom on top. Off 3/4, 127 and 2. Sunny Freedom, your leader. Oil Driller set to pounce from the pocket. Silver Wolf advances on the inside, as will Robert Wolf. Nice and Proud. The trip begins to take its toll. Top of the stretch, Sunny Freedom leads the way, looking to win another. It's Sunny Freedom. Oil Driller is out for the drive. Sunny Freedom deep in the lane is underurging Bussy, keeping him alive. Sunny Freedom will win again. Oil Driller second, Silver Wolf third in 157 and 2. In the Big Six, 6 out of 6. A winner returning $415.50, 6 of 6. Field of 8 pacers off the turn. They straighten out for the start. Here they come. They're off and pacing with Cassie's Ruler seeking out the top spot on the far outside. Go Sailing used aggressively off stride on the inside. Fabulous Finale. Cassie's Ruler in between horses now. San Jose Jeff up to grab the lead. Go Sailing will drop in third, a length ahead of Fox Valley Jenkins. Another length back to Sand Keen Edge. Then a gap of 3 to Something's Brewing, Rakish Hanover. And far back after the miscue, Fabulous Finale. Now they settle in up the backstretch with Cassie's Ruler in command of the fractions. Opening quarter, 28 and 3. Cassie's Ruler on top, a tight length. Ahead of San Jose Jeff racing in the pocket. A length back to Go Sailing with a good early position. On the outside, moving up first over, Sand Keen Edge following up that live cover is Something's Brewing. Fox Valley Jenkins held up along the cones. On the inside, Rakish Hanover. They're racing for the half. Cassie's Ruler still in command. Shows the way by 2 off the half, 59-1. Easy second quarter for Cassie's Ruler, the veteran. On the outside, here comes Sand Keen Edge. San Jose Jeff right there in the pocket. Something's Brewing racing on the outside but gapping cover. Go Sailing along the inside needs racing room. Then comes Rakish Hanover and Fox Valley Jenkins. A race up the backstretch, approaching the final quarter. It's Cassie's Ruler on the inside. On the outside, Sand Keen Edge under pressure to take command. 3 quarters, 128-1. Cassie's Ruler on the inside. Sand Keen Edge, and now winding up from far back. Here comes Something's Brewing, and Fox Valley Jenkins is 4 wide. An eighth of a mile to go. They're on their way home. Cassie's Ruler has put away Sand Keen Edge. Now San Jose Jeff is coming to him deep in the lane. It's Cassie's Ruler, San Jose Jeff. One final surge. Cassie's Ruler in front. San Jose Jeff and Go Sailing in 157-2. Top of the stretch, field of 5 lining up in behind the starter. Here they come. They're away and pacing. Save for Rainy Day will get an uncontested lead. Save for Rainy Day opens up into the first turn of length over AJ's dad as they fall into post position order. Curve off the turn. It's Save for Rainy Day. A tight length. AJ's dad will gladly take the trip right in behind. A length back to Broadway Mariah, the roan horse, racing in third. Another length back to Jeffrey's Pet, and Holly Hill Fashion trails, but only about 6 off the leader, and that is Save for Rainy Day. They approach the opening quarter, no change up top. Save for Rainy Day, pacing comfortably off that quarter, 29-2. Still no change at Save for Rainy Day. AJ's dad right there in the pocket. Broadway Mariah 3 off the top in third. A length back to Jeffrey's Pet racing fourth. Holly Hill Fashion still trails. No change in position as they wheel off the turn, and they pass by the stands for the first time. Save for Rainy Day and Ken Holiday in total command. They lead a length and a quarter. AJ's dad getting the trip. Broadway Mariah now flush to the outside. He'll face the breeze, bringing up Jeffrey's Pet in Holly Hill Fashion. Half-timed in a pretty easy minute 3/5. Save for Rainy Day with 3/8 to go. Now being engaged by Broadway Mariah. These two pull ahead 2 over AJ's dad racing third. A length and a half back to Jeffrey's Pet in fourth. Off stride momentarily at the end, Holly Hill Fashion. A little more than a quarter of a mile to go. Save for Rainy Day digs down. Holiday urging him on. Broadway Mariah right alongside these two, stride for stride, 3 quarters, 128.4. Pace picks up, and Save for Rainy Day maintains the advantage. AJ's dad lurking in the pocket. Top of the stretch, it's Save for Rainy Day. Here comes AJ's dad, a 16th of a mile out. Save for Rainy Day, looking to go all the way. Here comes AJ's dad. Save for Rainy Day in front. AJ's dad and Jeffrey's Pet, the mile 156 flat. In. Top of the stretch. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Southern Shogun firing out for the lead along with Brian's Bombshell. Now Brian's Bombshell sneaks through on the inside, leads 3 parts of a length. Southern Shogun going after him, far outside, rambling up. Here comes Varsity Type. Now he's going after the lead. High Lonesome came away in fourth. A length back to Steel Mill Joe, racing in fifth. A length and a half back to Garth. Another length back to Park Lane's Beach Boy. Closing remarks, trails. They're battling away up top, and from the outside, Varsity Type now takes command of the pace. Opening quarter, 28-3. Carl Perselli Jr. as varsity top on top, a length and a quarter over Brian's Bombshell. Then another length back to Dave McGee. And Southern Shogun as they race around the turn and they pass by the stands for the first time. Varsity top showing the way with Brian's Bombshell right on his back. On the outside, first over, High Lonesome. Garth will follow up that live cover. Southern Shogun push back on the rail. Here comes Steel Mill Joe and Steve Searle. Then a gap of 2 to Park Lane's Beach Boy and closing remarks. Half timed in 59 seconds. 4 in, 4 out. 3/8 of a mile to go. It's Varsity Type in command of the pace. High Lonesome now ranging up on the outside. Brian's Bombshell is right there in the pocket. Garth set to tip off perfect cover. Here comes Steel Mill Joe. He's about 4 off the top. He's moving up. On the inside, Southern Shogun needs racing room. Closing remarks makes his bid. Park Lane's Beach Boy is pushed back to last with a quarter of a mile to go. 3/4, 1:29 and 1. Varsity Type digs down. Garth is right alongside. These two now pulling away. High Lonesome on the outside. Brian's Bombshell lurking in the pocket. They turn for home. Varsity Type leads. Here comes Garth. Garth is wearing down on the outside. Morgan looking to win another. On the inside, Varsity Type is coming back. Varsity Type on the inside and Garth. Varsity Type, Garth, those two at the wire in 2 minutes flat. That is a photo finish. 8:24 on the bottom. That wraps it up here at Maywood Park. This has been Joe Mazzoni filling in for Tony Salvaro. We hope to see you all back tomorrow night.